Else? The stage is now yours, Claudia.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And so sorry. I am not sure what happened, but we are here. Thank you, everyone, for joining this session. And thank you for your patience. That's all I can say. We are going to get started because I know we are running late. Let me share my screen. Oh, wait a minute. That's not, hold on. Here we go. Okay, we will get started. Now, what I did last time, because this is a repeat from 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to go slide by slide, and I will answer any questions as we go along. Okay, I think that's going to be the easiest way. It was last time. So if anyone has a question, please just raise your hand and help me. Someone can help me see who is raising their hand, because it's sometimes difficult for me to spot. And that way we can run through the presentation a lot quicker. So let's continue. Oops, there we go. Okay, now what's going on? So leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders. And this is very true, as we know, at Toastmasters. And if there's one huge challenge when organizing a contest, is finding those leaders to help manage and to help with the logistics of organizing a contest, whether it be a club contest, area, division, and district contest. We know that we need many volunteers, and it's your job as district leaders to find them, motivate them, and encourage them to step up, because this can also be part of their HPL project. I see something in you, but I don't know what it is. By our world champion of public speaking in 2014. That's the strategy that you need to apply when finding your leaders. Believe me, it helps, because as we know, until you spot someone and until you encourage them and motivate them and say this phrase, believe me, you will get your leaders easier if you help them and you spot them and you encourage them. Because from experience, when someone told me, hey, you can do this, if you believe in them, they will believe in themselves, and they need your support. So this is my biggest recommendation. So part 1, learn the basics. Let's learn the basics. Most of you know the basics, but still it's very good for us to keep repeating this, because not many, remember the basics, and some of them have changed. So the hybrid speech contest best practices together with the rule book, okay? These two go hand in hand. The district, in September, we voted that we will be having a hybrid contest. The board of directors at World Headquarters told all districts that we needed to either host contests online or in hybrid format. So hybrid, as you know, it's in person and at home virtually. Because if we were going to do simply online, we couldn't go back to having in person or hybrid. It's either online or hybrid. So of course, we all voted hybrid because it was easier and more flexible. So both of these go hand in hand. These are your guidebooks. Please have each of your organizers and the team read these carefully, because I can't tell you and stress enough that this is your Bible. These two hand in hand, this is your Bible. This is all you need to know. It's all there. So read both guides, follow them, understand them, apply them, consult the materials, and just keep repeating this. Test people to see if they know the rule book and all the rules. Because when it comes to, yes, Carlos.
I think you are not sharing the presentation.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm watching the presentation, so
I'm watching the presentation too.
I don't know if you have a problem on your computer, because I'm watching the presentation.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry because I have two screens. My mistake. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
No problem. No problem at all. Okay. Any questions from this slide? Okay, we will move on. So important info, hybrid speech contest best practices. As we know, in-person contests with all contestants participating on site, okay, may be conducted only if the district selects a hybrid format, which in this case, we are conducting hybrid format. And remember that everyone can choose, whoever participates in the hybrid speech contest can choose whether to be in person or at home or anywhere. So if judges want to be at home, they can. I encourage everyone, because it is challenging, to try to have everyone in person if possible. But you have to be ready, because if someone falls sick and they want to compete from home, we have to give them that opportunity. And as you know, a hybrid contest is defined as a contest in which contestants and officials participate on site and online. Okay, so this format, again, I know it's challenging for many, but we have to overcome these challenges, and we did it last year and the year before, so no excuses, really. Contestants cannot be penalized for selecting one format versus another. Contestants competing online must also use equipment that they obtain themselves. That we have to remind people that if for some reason their equipment falls and fails, it's up to the chief judge to decide how many minutes you want to give this person. Is it 5 minutes or 10 minutes? Because you will need to pause. Between the contest chair and the chief judge, you can decide how you want to handle this. It's happened before. I remember the first time we did a hybrid, actually the online contest back in 2020. Somebody was eliminated because they couldn't fix their equipment, and they were disqualified. Okay, they stepped out. And all briefings and rehearsals, also again, hybrid format. And as much as possible, it's recommended that judges for hybrid contests are split between on-site and online. Remember, if you can try to get as many people on site, the better. But then this also gives us the opportunity to have judges from other districts too, because we can do that. Remember that. Here is a new eligibility rule, okay? And it's not the same as last year's. To compete in the international speech contest, the first two levels, you must have complete level 1 and level 2 of any path. That's the same as last year, or earned a distinguished Toastmaster award from the legacy program. Before, you could have up to 6 speeches to compete if you participated in the legacy program and have not started pathways. That's no longer the case. You have to have a DTM if you haven't started pathways. So I encourage, again, everyone to get up to speed and have their 2 levels completed. And this only applies, remember, for the international speech contest, which is in English. We're also going to have a speech contest in French, Portuguese, and Spanish, and that doesn't apply to the languages, to those languages. It only applies to the international speech contest in English. There are many changes in the rule book, and they're highlighted with a diamond. That's what you'll see when you read the rule book. 4 key ingredients. Again, make a plan. We need to plan. The proper planning prevents poor performance. Remember that. Contestants, you need to encourage and motivate contestants. Have fair and impartial judges, which is very important, and know the rules. These are the 4 main ingredients. And trust me, if you have this, it'll be a flawless contest. Contest languages at district level, the English. Now, again, I'm repeating it again. You're eligible to compete in the international speech contest, which is in English if you've completed the first, the 2 levels of pathways, 1 and 2, or have completed a DTM award in the legacy program. And at district level, the only 2 contests that will be conducted in English are the international speech an evaluation contest. Okay, we are going to have evaluations this year, but it will only be in English. And the eligibility to compete in the evaluation contest isn't the same as the international speech contest. Anyone can participate, okay, in the evaluation contest in English. You don't have to have the 2 levels of pathways or a DTM. And again, we will have the French, the Portuguese, and the Spanish speech contest at district level. Okay, any questions? All clear, perfect. So we need to work backwards. In order to plan backwards. So May 19th to the 21st, we know that that's the district conference in Tangier in Morocco. And count backwards, you need maybe 2 to 3 weeks to plan your division contest. And then from there, another 2 to 3 weeks back to plan your area contest and then your club contest. Club contest should start in January, February timeframe. That all depends on the clubs. Every club is different. And just remember that you're working towards the May 19th to the 21st. So again, the international speech contest in English, French, Portuguese, and Spanish, and the evaluation contest only in English. Now at the club, area, and division level, you can add another contest if you wish. But keep in mind that these contests now with the evaluation contest extend in time, because the evaluation contest, you need a target speaker. Each evaluation is 3 minutes. And then they have 5 minutes to actually do their written evaluation, where the sergeant at arms will escort them to a different room. So keep that in mind when you are planning your club club area and division contest. You can add a humorous speech contest, you can add tall tales, you can add table topics. That's up to you. And you can add another language if you wish. But remember that in Morocco, in Tangier at the district conference, these will be the only speech contests that will be conducted. I left this here. You'll be able to click on it in my presentation, which everyone will receive. Just click on it and it'll take you to the speaker's certification and eligibility form. And read it carefully, because it does give you here the criteria of who's eligible and who is not. Remember that someone asked a good question last time and they said, well, you know, I think a club needs to have at least 20 members in order for them to be eligible to compete. And that's not the case, because a club in good standing only requires that you have eight members. Okay. So if they don't have 8 members in a club, then they're not in good standing, and therefore that member cannot compete because the club is not in good standing. And also, if you're a district officer, you cannot compete. And anyone going forward as a candidate won't be able to compete as well. And even the target speaker of the evaluation contest, if they are running for office, they can also not be a target speaker. That's all in the rule book. And this again, people were questioning whether, you know, to be a chief judge or voting judge, what the rules are. You have to be a paid member, and you be a paid member for a minimum of 6 months. Okay, now this goes from the area to the district level. But for the club level, as long as you are a paid member, you're okay. Okay, there you don't have to be a member for 6 months. Now, the speech contest FAQs, here's a link, but I have read through the FAQs on the website and they're not updated, unfortunately. So it's best to read the rule book. Your rule book is the Bible. It has the latest rules. So you can use the speech contest FAQs along with the rule book to help you for you to reach more clarity on every topic. Here you also have the speech contest resources. Read through them carefully. You've got the materials there. There is a manual on how to conduct a speech contest. However, it is a bit old, but it still applies. and the speech contest rule book for changes and the certificates, but I have also added here the speech contest toolkits. So here's a link that takes you straight to the toolkits, and in the toolkits you have all the materials. You have all the certificates, all the documentation for the contestants, for the chief judge, for your timers. You have all the information here. I've made it easy. All you have to do is just click and it'll take you to all the materials. Tutorials. Please don't underestimate the importance of reviewing the tutorials. Many times we go to a contest.
Sorry,
Yes.
Claudia, to interrupt you. I was wondering if all those links appears on the main page of Toastmaster.org.
No, these are links that take you straight. I mean, you'll have to look for them on the main page, but they're links that take you directly to where you will find the toolkit.
But I mean, all those links can appear on the Toastmaster webpage. You know,
They're not on the home. They're not on the home page, but they are on the website.
Yes, I mean on the website. You have to look for it, of course, but or I mean that all that material appears on the webpage.
Yes, all the materials are on the website, but
Okay.
I've just made it easier for you on the presentation. When I send it to you, all you have to do is go through each slide and link and, you know, click on the links that I have on the presentation. It'll take you straight to where you have to go.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And again, overview of the roles when you're a judge. We don't train our judges enough and our contest chairs and anyone who has a role when organizing the contest. So it's good practice to review the tutorials and make sure that whoever is a chief judge reviews these tutorials with their judges, gives them the links, and do this a week to 2 weeks ahead of time, because sometimes it's too late and you have judges that don't know what they're doing. And that is bad practice. We want good practices. Or a chief judge that doesn't even know what they're doing, okay? And it's all here on the website. You just have to ensure and motivate people and encourage them to get on the website and take the time to review these tutorials. They're lengthy and some are boring, but the information is there. So part 2, the team, roles and responsibilities. As we know, together, everyone achieves more. When we work together, we become stronger, and it'll become easier for you to organize the contest, because we all want to be the Incredibles when we're organizing. And you don't want too many cooks in the kitchen. How many times do we have a team that we've extended and we've assembled and we have so many team players and it's chaos? We don't want chaos. We want a small team to make it work. And whoever the main organizer is, I recommend that they pick and choose and assemble the team that they're going to be comfortable working with. Trust me, you will enter with conflict resolution when you're assembling your team. Some people will want to be a part of it. Be careful. It's a good time also to help people, help your members understand, help them become better leaders. If there's someone that you have conflicting issues with, well, maybe now's the time to resolve those issues and help each other and make them become better leaders. Help them become better leaders, because sometimes people don't realize that what they do is wrong. And unless you tell them, or unless you can speak to them and confront them with the issues, they'll continue doing what we maybe don't want them to do. Elements for success. Organizing the team. Again, that's the key. And you want a small team, maybe no more than 5 or 6, depending on the contest that you are organizing, the type of contest, club, area, division, or district. The type of contest, remember, key is, or the recommended, of course, the international, that's a given. That's always going to go to the international convention. The evaluation, we're doing evaluations at district level in English, but you can have your evaluation contest up to division level. Table topics if you wish, tall tales and humors. That's up to you and your club. Set the date. If you haven't set the dates for your contests, you must set them now, because we need to give ample time to our members. It's not fair to say, oh, by the way, we're going to have our, our club contest in 3 weeks and no one prepares. Please, before the holidays, make sure you already have your set dates for the club, the area, and the division, knowing that the district is already set in stone from May 19th to the 20th, to the 21st. Registration form, the easiest way to manage this is to have a registration form, a Google form. It makes it so convenient for everyone. It's easy to complete, and it'll give you a database that you can easily see who the volunteers are, because you will want to make sure you have those volunteers, and it's an easy way for you to see who they are and who is going to compete. You should already know who is going to compete in the English, in the International Speech Contest, the evaluation contest, and in what languages, okay? If you haven't done that, again, please try to do this before the holidays, because we want to plan ahead of time, and you owe this to your members. Budget. What's your budget? Club, obviously for your club contest, you decide if you want to host it during the week or during a weekend, if you have enough money to be able to maybe have, go out to lunch if you so choose, if you're going to charge 5 or 10, euros for that. Who is going to buy the awards, the trophies? Are you going to have catering? Where the venue? If you have a venue in mind, now's the time to also reserve that venue, okay? And are you going to have goodie bags for fun? And if you're going to even have keynote speakers for the area and the division contest, sometimes we have keynote speakers as well.
Claudia?
Yes?
Just a question. For the area contest, the budget, we have budget for that?
Yes. Your area director should know what their budget is, and they will be able to tell you how much you can
that
spend.
would be me.
Yes. Right
I
now,
haven't checked it yet.
yeah, I don't recall, because it changes from year to year. So make sure you speak to Gustavo if you're not sure what, how much money you have. Okay.
Okay.
But that'll be good for printing, because for the evaluation contest, for example, you have to print the evaluation notes page. There's a specific form for that, for the evaluations.
Mm-hmm.
It's, people say, oh, well, we can use any sheet of paper. No, it's recommended that you use the evaluation sheets that are supplied. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's not much. I know the budgets are low. So this is where, at area contests, sometimes you'll have to pay 15, 20, 25 or 30 euros. If you need to, if you need to pay a venue, for example. Any more questions?
Nope, thank you.
You're welcome. So again, training is very important for the contest chair, and there are scripts. Okay, there are scripts also for contest chairs. Obviously, the contestants not, chief judges, timers, ballot counters. You need all these all these members in order to organize a flawless contest. And your keynote speakers, again, you can have them at area and division level as well. And marketing, digital news and social media. Remember, this is also a good way to attract new members. Invite them to come to your contest. Why not? Digital news, if you know any editors and any of the digital news outlets online, contact them. They like to have this type of information. It's if they don't have him, they're always looking for new ideas and new, pieces of editorial. And sometimes they will do this. Most of them will do this for free if you invite them. You just invite them and maybe give them a coffee or something, and they'll do a nice write-up of your club area or division contest. And use this also on social media, to attract more members. Club banners. See if you want to have the club banners on site, music, entertainment, activities for the day, before or after the contest. It depends. Sometimes I remember a couple years back for the division contest, we got together on a Friday before, as a, meet and mingle opportunity. And then the next day was the contest. It all depends on you, on how you want to organize it and how much you think your members are also willing to pay, because we forget that we travel now. We can travel to our area and division contests, and we need to save money. So the sooner you speak to your members about this, the more participation you're also going to get, and you'll know more or less what you're going to spend. So again, we don't want too many cooks in the kitchen. Toastmaster or the master of ceremonies, this person reserves the venue, creates the agenda, the awards, certificates, the registration form, is in charge of displaying the club banner or does the promotion, the PR. Your contest chair, through email or WhatsApp, however they wish, they're the ones that have to, reach out to the contestants. They distribute and collect the documents. They deliver the briefing. They also draw the order and they review the timed agenda with the contestants. And each of these key players can also have a subcommittee. Remember that, okay? These two people aren't responsible maybe for everything. They are, but they can also work with others, and they can choose to assemble a mini sub-team of their own, okay? Whatever works best for them. And the chief judge, again, communicates, via email or WhatsApp, in person, whatever works best. They're the ones that hold the judge's briefing. Now, remember, the tie-breaking judge, people forget this. The chief judge collects his or her ballot, okay? And it's the chief judge who appoints the tie-breaking judge. The ballot counter, they collect the rest of them. They always have, the timer gives them the sheets to the chief judge, and then your sergeant at arms is the one that escorts the contestants out of the room for the evaluation contest or the table topics contest. The treasurer, they decide also how much there is in the bank, so that you can have a nice venue, give out awards and certificates, gifts for the keynote speakers, and the catering. And again, my recommendation is keep it simple. We don't need, in my opinion, sophisticated coffee breaks or sophisticated meals. Do a potluck where everybody maybe brings a dish of their own, and you share dishes, which is a nice also gesture, and you get to mingle with others if you can. Or you go to not an expensive restaurant. It all depends, but try to keep it to, not too expensive, or else the participation, you're not going to get what you expect. Again, I see something new, but you don't know what it is. Keep this in mind to attract your team. The master of ceremonies, that can be anyone. The contest chair, and you need the contest chair for each contest, of course. And these are the documents that need to be distributed to the contestants, and the draw for order. I've repeated this, the eligibility requirements to be the chief judge. We can skip this, but remember, just keep this in mind, that they need a minimum of 6 months, and to be a paid member if they're going to be a judge at the area, division, and district contest. And they also need to have their speeches completed. Chief judge responsibilities, the certification of eligibility, code, and ethics. Keep also in mind that the contestants, they need to be eligible to go to the area and to the division. Last year, we had someone who won first place in the area contest, and then we checked their eligibility too late, and they weren't eligible to go to the division contest. And this person thought that they could. So they didn't read the rule book, and neither did the contest chair and their mentor. And so this person got so excited that they had won, but they were eliminated at area because they weren't even eligible to compete. So avoid these types of disappointments. Make sure that everyone reads the rule book. Here you have the international speech ballots. Again, just by clicking here, you'll get to that page. And you need the 2 timers and 2 ballot counters, maybe not at the club level, but definitely at the area and at the division level. And make sure that they use the right timing sheets. It's really a piece of paper, you know, use the official material if you can, please. And the tally sheets and the notification, oops, yeah, the notification, hold on, whoops, I'm going back and forth. Sorry. I wanted to go back here. Okay. So the notification of contest winner, this goes to your next contest. So whoever wins at the club level, you send this over to the contest chair, the area, either the contest chair or the area director for the area contest, and then for so on for the division contest. Now the treasurer ensures that the host club breaks even. Okay, we don't make money on contests. It should be a perfect break even if possible. Okay, and here are the estimated entry fees. Now remember that contestants do not have to pay, but they do have to pay if you are offering food. For example, if you're offering coffee breaks and they want a coffee and be participating in the coffee breaks and lunches, they have to pay. Okay, so again, keep it simple, keep it not very expensive so that everyone can participate. Remind everyone that we used to travel before COVID, because during COVID, the new members that started during COVID, they don't remember, well, they never experienced what it's like to travel to another country for a division or a district conference. We're excited this year, for example, that it's in Tangier, because last year when they hosted the summit in Marrakesh, not many people went from Spain or Portugal because of COVID, and everyone was, you know, a little bit worried, but we did have the right to travel, or we could travel, but people were a little bit, you know, scared and skeptical, and that's we have to, you know, accept that and remember that not everyone is able to, but let's try to encourage everyone to travel if possible. If they know how much it's going to cost beforehand, they can plan ahead of time. Okay. And don't forget that this can be your high performance leadership project. Everyone on the team, you know, can do this. They can have, they will be able to get credit for their HPL. They just have to go to their pathway, and I believe it's a level 5 project. And if they know ahead of time that they're going to be helping organize the contest, they'll be able to prepare and give their speeches, the speeches that they need to give for their HPL project. So here's all your homework. Surprise, surprise. Read the rule book and the best practices. That's the first thing. And when you assemble a team, make sure that everyone reads the rule book again and the best practices. Set the date. It's recommended, preferably before the holidays, so that people can start practicing their speeches, reserve the venue, know your budget. Area directors, division directors, speak to Gustavo so that you know exactly how much you can spend. Decide what contests you want to hold. Mandatory is the international speech and evaluation contest. Remember, it's going to be in English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese. The speech contest will be in those languages, but not the evaluation contest. And create the registration form, because that's going to be the easiest way to, you know, it'll help you with your planning in general. If you have a good Google form, I can share a Google form for along with this presentation just to make it easier, and then you can tailor it to your needs. And mention from now on about the contest. Mention the dates of each of your contests from now on so that people are aware, and announce it on social media, check the checklists, and again, use this project to fulfill your HPL. And finally, the day of the contest, we will help our first and second place winners move up to the area and to the division, and only one person from division goes to the district level. Remember this? Here we have, I was privy to going to Nashville this summer and met Cyril and our third place winner here. It was exciting to see. And the second place winner was actually someone who did their speech online, who gave it online, delivered an amazing speech. He's not in this photo. And remember the core values: integrity, respect, service, and excellence. And keep it super, super simple. Any questions? I'm going to stop sharing. Yes, Sonia?
Hi, Claudia. Thank you so much for your presentation. I have two questions.
Yes?
One is just a backtracking, just to seek validation. So imagining for contests in Portuguese, Spanish, and French,
Yes.
is it, for eligibility, is it necessary to have the 2 levels of any pathway also completed, or is that only for the international contest?
It's only for the international contest.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
The second question is for the officers of the clubs. Are they also eligible to the
Yes.
competition? Doesn't
Yes.
matter which role? Okay.
No. So yeah, club officers can. It's just area and division directors cannot,
Okay, thank you.
or any district officer. Mhm.
It's all good, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
I have a question. It's not completely related to this presentation, but as you know, Claudia, we are preparing the Winners Academy,
Yes.
and we have invited some trainer who will be competing as well. And one of them asked me if it is an issue or not, because in the summit you could not deliver a workshop being a contestant.
Right. This,
Because this is an event that it's not, how can I say, it's not defined in the rule book or something. It was an idea. I believe it was the Vera's idea.
yeah, and it is a great idea, but I understand
And I can tell you that we will have my car, we will have Mark Brown, so 2 world champions and 1 third place, which is Roger. So it will be a great event. But I have this doubt, and I don't know.
Yeah, I would say that they should not be delivering a workshop. That's my, yeah. I will discuss this with Vera, because I don't think we even went, obviously we didn't go that far. We didn't think of this. But
Yes.
to be fair, I don't think, but then again, it's not in the rule book, right? I mean, this workshop is to be given when and where?
It will be 1 per week from January 4th until February 16th. So it's the range during the club. You know, I was seeing this in the other perspective, like if I'm a contestant, I don't want to share what I know to my competitors.
Right.
But in the other perspective, if you deliver a workshop maybe you become likable for the judges and so on. So I have doubts about that.
Yeah, because I know the rule book says if you can't really give a workshop, right? Like what you said, you can't really give a workshop at the district conference, for example, and then compete. So this is something I need to call it. Yeah, I need to call to Vera and Pablo's attention.
Yeah, and it was my fault because I've invited them. I'm in charge for this, and I've invited them, but then the doubt came in.
Right. Right. No, and it's a valid, yeah. I'm glad you are. Yeah, I'm glad you're mentioning this, because before chaos starts or people start complaining, it's best to have it clear. So I will make sure we discuss this week and see what we say.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Mhm. Anyone else?
So, yes. Hi, Claudia. Hope everything is fine with you.
Yes, I can't wait for Wednesday.
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm so happy the presentation is today, because last time nobody came from Portugal because very few people did.
But I was there.
I know. Oh, I remember. Yes.
So thank you, and thank you for your time. I have actually two questions. The first is the evaluation contest have a limit date. For example, for the speech contest, we have until the 19th February. But for the evaluation contest, is there any limit date, or we can do it after the speech contest?
I'm not sure I understand. The district conference is in May.
No, I'm talking just about the club, the level of the clubs.
The club. So at club level, you're saying your international speech contest is when?
Actually, we will do it on 17th February, before 2 days.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yes.
matter. It's up to you to decide when you want to do the evaluation contest. Some clubs are doing, for example, in Malaga, we're thinking, well, maybe we do the international speech contest in English, all the international and all the speech contests in one day, and then we do the evaluation contest in another day, or we do all the English in one day and then the other languages on other days. It all depends on how you want to organize it. Whatever's flexible.
Thank you. And for my second question, it's related to the French speech contest. Actually, in our club, we didn't include French. We just have English. So I don't know if we can have the French speech contest, if we can organize.
I encourage you to, yes, definitely. I encourage everyone to have all the contests if possible. And even if there's only one person, okay, if there's only one person at club level who, say you only have one person doing French, as long as they do not go over time, they can move up to the area contest.
Thank you so much.
But I would give everyone the opportunity to participate in any language they choose.
That happened last year with our club. We were only two contestants in French.
Great.
Yes, but as long as there's one, you need to conduct a speech contest. You don't need judges. You only need to time them.
Perfect. And for Wednesday, we will die with them. Don't worry. With the French, we will die with them.
And yes, Imad.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Imad. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Greetings from Casablanca, and thank you very much, Claudia, for this. I just would like to make one point about the bilingual club. We keep it as it is. We do both contests in English for those who wants to do it in English, and also in French for those who wants to do it in French. So Naufel, you have the, I would say, the freedom to choose which contest you want to take part in. But Claudia, I have one point is about the club contest. The problem we faced last year contest, we have one in February, is that I would say, sometimes we are unfair in evaluating certain speakers, and which are very good, but certain evaluators and judges did not give them the merit to pass through the second contest. And that's really pose a problem, because maybe certain judges are not skilled enough, not experienced enough to judge this one should go or should not go. And this really is a problem in our, I would say, contests, because some are happy, some are unhappy. I deserve to pass. The other one said, I don't deserve to pass. And really it creates a certain, I would say, frustration to some members. How can we really be sure that whoever goes to the next round deserve to go to the next round? That's the point I want to share about.
My recommendation is, because obviously at club level, you don't need to have it hybrid. You don't, but that's another way of going around it. You do it hybrid at club level, and you get judges from other clubs, from other, from around the district.
May I
That
add
can be an
something?
option. Yes,
May
please.
Imad, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much, Isidro. Thank you.
You talked about the inexperience from some judges. I believe that the Winners Academy that we will held can help a little bit. Winners Academy is a project that will have one session per week, and we will start on January 4th with Mike Carr, the world champion in 2020. And each week we will have someone to explain a little bit. Myself, I will be explaining structure and building blocks of a speech for the contest and so on. I think that it's important not only for the contestants, but for the judges as well. Because if you don't understand what is a contest speech, it's difficult to evaluate to evaluate your peers or other people accordingly or fairly.
And are we allowed, Isidro, to take part in this?
Everybody in the district will be allowed to participate. It's a way to motivate people to attend contests as well. It's number one. And number two, once they attend, they can deliver better speeches.
Okay. Thank you very much for this hint, Isidro.
Yeah, I think it's going to be successful. I believe another district, several districts are doing this type of workshop, Isidro, and I think it's definitely valuable for everyone.
Everyone, yeah.
And for, again, I also find that that the judges don't read the back of the judging form, and the judging form has the criteria of how to judge. I have seen contests where only the front page of the form is delivered, and I'm just, it just irritated me. And I got so frustrated saying, where's the back? On the back is the full criteria of how to judge. And, they didn't have time. That was the excuse. That's not an excuse. We're giving you plenty of time to prepare. And all the materials are on the site, are on the website. So there's no excuse. That's why I'm saying, if the main key players need to have a subcommittee to help them, then they should assemble their own little subcommittee. Because I know it can be overwhelming, especially when you get to the area and the division level. Club level shouldn't be as difficult, but I do understand that it can be still.
Thank you very much for this hint. Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions? Okay. Well, thank you again for joining. I hope it was useful. And again, my presentation, I'm always updating the presentation, so I will share it with everyone. And I will also share a Google form that I think you can use. You'll just have to, include your own information in there, but it's a good way to get started so that at least you know who you think will be competing, because right now, if you don't know, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to plan. So make sure you review it when you get it. Thank you again.
Thank you, Claudia.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Claudia,
you.
for this.
Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye bye. See you guys.
Bye. See you.
Take much care. Bye.
Claudia, ¿ha
everyone.
recibido mi correo?
Hold on. We need to stop the recording.
Okay, pero yes.
Wait.
Have a good night.
Yes, we need to stop the recording. Who is recording this? We can do it offline because I can't stop the recording.
Yeah, never mind. Take it easy.